This is a Modigent quarterly update. I'm Carrie Pena. We are broadcasting today from the Center for Positive Media. With me in studio, Modigent CEO Dan Buchel. Dan, great to see you again.
Great to see you. How are you?
I'm not as well as you because you have some incredible news to share. January saw Modigent sales double the monthly average over the previous year, reaching 60 million. Talk about how you are on track for record levels.
Right. So I think what's driving that is a couple of things. One is strong market demand. We're seeing strong demand in the market for our services as the major tailwinds in the sector that we anticipated in our strategic plan are really starting to become realized. So when you think about the decarbonization of the building space, for example, as well as the advent and growth of the digital economy, those things are tailwinds that we anticipated. So we've been selling into that market and driving our salespeople towards approaching that particular sector in a way that's been fueling our growth.
Let's talk about your expansion. You just mentioned your sales force. Let's start there.
Okay. So with our sales force, we have added about 30% more salespeople to the business this year than we had last year. And that's also driving growth. Along with that addition, we bring significant training and development for these sales individuals. So they go through about an 8-month boot camp where they learn how to improve their skills as a salesperson. Now, with that said, these are not generally junior salespeople. These are senior salespeople that are benefiting from kind of, master's class in sales training. So we've been doing that as well as distributing these individuals across the country. So if you think about many cases, we acquire a company in a particular geography. Generally, it's the founder of the company and maybe a close group of people that drive business development for them. Mm-hmm. As we bring in a more professionalized approach to sales, we add salespeople, train them, and then continue to leverage the benefit that the founder brings, but do it in combination with a more professionalized sales team.
And this is really all part two of your people first approach.
It is. That's correct. Yeah, we believe that our people make our company make our company successful, and therefore we take the appropriate time and effort to invest in their development and growth.
I'm really excited about your efforts when it comes to sustainability. Mm-hmm. Talk about the emphasis on reducing the carbon footprint.
Yeah. So when we look at our business, we just did a large carbon study of the company. And as anybody would, probably anticipate or understand just inherently about our business is that we drive a lot of trucks, right? So we got 1,500 trucks on the road, and every one of those trucks is emitting carbon. So what we're working on is first thing we're doing is we're piloting a hybrid EV program. EVs as a vehicle, a strict EV doesn't give us the range necessary. We work in the country, we get out of the reservations, we work in a lot of areas where we have to have distance. So the hybrid is a much better choice for us. So we're piloting hybrids today in Tucson to, first of all, understand how do our people feel about them. And I don't mean how they feel about the political nature of hybrid EV, whatever that might be, and that, there's a lot of conversation around that, but more so about how effective is the vehicle for use. And so we're working on that. Like I mentioned, we have done a full greenhouse gas study, and we are also working on applying the right vehicle to the right individual. So in many cases, we may have individuals that don't really need an F-250 or an F-350, a big Super Duty pickup truck. It may be cool and we might like them, but they may be inappropriate relative to the amount of carbon emitted relative to the amount of work that we need to do with that vehicle. So we're looking at a standardization of our vehicles across the entire country to make sure that the individuals are driving the vehicle that allows them to meet the needs of the work, but yet emits the least carbon to meet that need.
A lot of headlines to get through here. I just have one more question about something that I think is really important, and that is the digital transformation. Talk about that.
First thing we're doing is we are building and deploying our standard platform across the country. We call that our tech stack. That's our financial system, our project system, our operating system for service, our fleet program, our procurement program. So a standardized package of digital administrative technologies for the most part that allow us to manage the business and understand the business in an appropriate manner. From there, we take that underlying data, and that's what we're working on this year. Is we're working on both finishing up the tech stack deployment as well as building an infrastructure of data. Many people that know are familiar with the data warehouse. Okay, so there will be a data warehouse, and what the data warehouse does is it gives us the ability to selectively use an AI gen, a chat gen or whatever it may be, an AI platform to search that data warehouse to provide us insights into the business that we can't necessarily see today, or we don't have the amount of time to spend to match the speed of a computer, crunching all those numbers. So we're looking at that. And then the other thing we're doing is we're looking at, there's two more things I should say. One is we are looking at opportunities in our business to use technology to help us offset the labor shortage that we all know we're facing in the U.S. today. It's not a productivity gain. It's not an enhancement. It's not a cost reduction.
That's what I was going to ask you, because people always get worried when they hear someone, the leader of a company, talking about AI.
Right. We have no intent to use AI to displace workers. We just can't find enough workers to do the job. And so we're looking at it as a way to enhance the great people we have in the company today.
You have a lot of positive headlines. I always like to ask, when I have the CEO sitting right in front of me, what for you is the most important thing going forward for your company? I mean, you're seeing unprecedented success, and all signs are pointing to positive future for you. What for you as the leader?
For me, it is the maintenance and enhancement of our company culture. Right. And I say that for two reasons. One, well, I got to come at this, you know me well enough to know that I think about this from a people perspective, first and foremost. That has been a very successful formula for us as we scaled from our 50 to 500 that we talked about last time we met. Now we're going from 500 to $1 billion. So that's a pretty significant growth trajectory for the organization. And what concerns me, if I want to call it a concern, and I don't want to say it's a concern, but what I'm very mindful of is how do we ensure that the culture we've used and we've built to create the organization's success to date is scalable to the next 500 million. And it is scalable. They're the fundamental principles of being with people, right? How we treat each other, how we care for each other, the sense of community and family, all that is what drives a great company. The challenge always is making sure that that belief system permeates the organization and is distributed at a level that everybody in the company feels and benefits from the culture. So that's the thing that I think about most.
People first.
Absolutely.
It's not just a slogan for you.
No, it's not.
Dan, thank you so much. Congratulations. Thanks to all of you for watching the quarterly update. I'm Carrie Pena.